Be sure and say hello when you jump on. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Debbie. Good evening. It's just me tonight. Robert's doing some work somewhere else. Sorry about that. How is everyone? Hi, Beverly. I'll give everybody a chance to jump on. Got a great pattern for you tonight. It only took me maybe an hour to cut out. Hi, Patsy. Hi, Karen. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Linda. Let's go ahead and get our sound check going. Can you hear me on Facebook and YouTube? Somebody give us a thumbs up from each channel. Hi, Peggy. Welcome. So this, let's see if I can get real close, is the pattern that we're going to do tonight. You came in the shop last week. I'm sorry I missed you. Thank you. We got YouTube good. Somebody let us know about Facebook. Hi, Vicki. Good evening. From Michigan. Let me come closer so you can see the pattern. It is a free pattern. I'll post a link for it in just a second. Somebody had said holiday pattern. Facebook is thank you. You met Rebecca. Wonderful. Did you get to meet Sean too? I can call him and tell him to come downstairs. Hi, Lana. Hi, Bernadine. Welcome, everyone. That is different and you love it. That's great. I thought it was really cute. This is a free pattern from Banyan Boutiques, which is part of Northcott. And so we're using Michael Miller fabrics tonight on this project. So, hi Sandy. Hi Kathy. Let me see if I can get him. Just hang on. I'll see if he'll come down. He might not. I'm texting him. Let's see if we can get him to come down. Okay, we'll see. I like the pattern, so let's get started. We are Quilters HQ, Windmill Sewing Center, Quilt Sampler, and Joan Sews. The websites are quiltershq.com, windmillsewingcenter.com, quiltsampler.com, and joansews.com. We do this every Tuesday from 6 to around 6:30 Central Time. Thank you for joining us, and be sure and do all the things with the buttons like share, follow, subscribe, and notify on both Facebook and YouTube. Hi Sharon, so I'm going to post a link to the pattern. Oops, nope. Robert is absent right now. He does IT consulting on the side, and he is doing some work for another company. So there's a link to the pattern. It is a free pattern, so go ahead and grab it. I mean, who doesn't love a free pattern, right? Super easy to cut out. I rotary cut this, but let me tell you, if you have the 10-inch cube, you can make your wreaths with the 10-inch cube. So this is a 15-inch block, and then I think if you used, I'd have to look. These finish to 5 inches. The pinwheels finish to 5 inches. So I think you can do that with your 10-inch cube as well. So I've already picked up all my pieces. The other thing that I'm going to show you when we go over to the other camera is this. This is from Creative Grids. This is the seam guide tool. I think that's the right name for it. It is also on that page where I posted the link. Both the 9 and the 15. If you do anything with layer cakes, get the 15 because when you're drawing your line, it will fit across. The 9-inch, there's a 9-inch version and a 15-inch version. The 9-inch version will not fit with the layer cake. You can use it for charm squares, but if you're going to get one you could use all of them. So get the 10-inch. So I'll show you the pattern one more time, and then we're going to cut over to the other camera and start piecing it. So that's what it looks like. I think it's kind of cute. I'm using a little bit brighter fabrics than they used, and so I think it's going to be pretty. So tonight we're only going to make the red wreath, and then next week we'll get together and do either the pinwheels or the green wreath. So we'll see how it goes. And I've got my tool. I need a rating pencil, and I think I have one over there. We shall see. There's a better view of that tool.
What up?
Okay. All right. Say hello to Sean.
What up? Quilting nerds.
Be nice.
I said be nice.
So, yes, this is the person that is responsible for shipping all of your stuff out. So when you call and talk to Sean, now you have a face to put to a name.
That's right. And if I don't get your stuff out fast enough, they take away my food privileges. So.
That's not true.
It's kind of true.
It's not true.
All right. Well, good seeing y'all.
Okay, so this is the Creative Grids tool. Peggy said hi.
What up, Peggy?
Kathy said hi.
Hey, Kathy.
And so to use it, I'm going to pull this apart a little bit. And get our instructions. I'm going to set these over here. So first thing that I'm going to do is create the center of our block, and that is done by snowballing these blocks. And you just simply draw a line across corner to corner. And I use a regular pencil graphite to do this. So, and I'm not making a really heavy line. It's pretty light. And we're going to do these 4 corners. And then we'll start making our wreath portion.
Have they seen our puppy?
That's not a little puppy.
Fully grown. Where's Robert at?
Working.
That's
Willow. She's an unknown breed, but most likely an Australian catalog. She is a handful.
Quite literally.
She does have a hefty bark, so it's pretty good for, you know, deterrent. Okay, I think we're good there. Hi, Karen. Do you ever trim your nails back and then you can't pick anything up? That's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. And I'm regretting, I think I cut them too short. Last one. And there you have it. So I'm just going to use my scissors and trim, and I'm just guesstimating what 1/4 of an inch is. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to use my fantastic tool here to just give these a quick press. And if you don't have one of these, or 2 or 3, this is also on that same page as the pattern. Yeah, I did see when I moved the computer there was a disconnect, but it looked like it were reconnected pretty quick, so I'll try to limit how often I have to move the PC. Or the tablet. Laptop. That's what we're using. Okay. Rubbish bucket. Okay, so with the white and the red squares, we need 4 half square triangles. And so the nice thing about this is, so I don't know if you can see, right in the middle here, there's a little opening, right? So that's the center of this. And so I'm just lining that up with each side, and then I'm going to put the grippy side down. And let me know if you already have this tool, if you use it, you love it, or what your thoughts are on it. And then you draw your line on each side. Could have got that a little bit darker right there. Draw your line on each side. And then that's your sewing line. So we're just going to grab it. We're just going to sew right here. Spin it around. Sew the other way, and then we're just going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to press this towards the dark side for all you Star Wars fans. And we need 4 of these. If you have a friction pen, that would work too, because those lines will just disappear when you iron it. And if they ever show up again, you can just throw it in your dryer and they'll disappear, all those lines. There's been a fly that made it in the house, and it has been aggravating me all day. Willow keeps trying to eat it, unsuccessfully. They are irritating. Okay. This would also make a good table runner too. It's not a huge quilt. I'll tell you what the size is just a second, and just trim it in half. Press open. Press open, and then we're going to make the bow. And the bow is going to be this red material. It's kind of almost a little bit salmon, and the gold. And so we're actually going to do this twice. So here it is. Take our tool, because this is actually a quarter square triangle, so we're going to take these, draw our line, sound messed up on YouTube, I'm sorry. This is a pretty easy pattern, Peggy, and I think it's going to go together really quick. Can you all see that fly buzzing around here? It's going to drive me insane. Okay, so let's press these with a doohickey. And I'm just pressing towards the pink just because I started with the white pressing towards the pink. And then we're going to put them together just like this. And we're going to really try to nest these seams right here. And I just want to make sure. Yep. We are going to sew on both sides of it. And cut in half again. And there's our little bow. So you're going to save this one for your next project. Hi, Amber. You just got me tonight. Robert's off somewhere else. Okay, I'm going to go grab a larger ruler than what I have here. We're just going to square these up real quick. Sparkly fabrics are perfect for the project. Yes, they are. This, so the gold I got from my stash, but we do have some gold in the fabrics. But this is a new collection that we have in the store. And the fabric requirements are 1 yard. So we need our block to be 5.5. And this is a 6.5 inch ruler. So it looks pretty spot on. So I'm just going to trim the edges off here. Make sure my seam is lined up with my diagonal on the ruler. And like I said, if you have the 10-inch square cube, you can cut this out. This is shape number 4. Shape number 4. And then the half square triangles, these are shape number 3. And I'm just going to make sure these are 5.5. Pretty close. Just going to trim these off with the scissors. For me, I think it's a little bit faster. But do what works best for you. And then we're going to lay this block out. It makes a 15-inch block finished. So when we're done piecing here, it should measure 15.5. Here is our center. And I'll pick this up so you can see it a little easier too, so you'll get a better view. Both goes that way. And in the end, it's just a 9 patch. And there's our block laid out. What do you guys think? Pretty easy? Okay, let's piece all of these together. How about we piece them together correctly? There we go. Get my seam guide because I'm not that great a sewer. I just have good tools. I'm being careful because I know you guys have seen me sew these blocks together wrong so many times. And I'm pressing these outside ones towards the middle. My next row, slide this over, I'm going to press towards the outside. And I'm just getting everything lined up here. It's lining up pretty well, and I didn't really have to trim up these blocks at all, so the math is good. Towards the outside. And then let's attach our okay, let's just go ahead and put those together. Okay, last little bit of our block. And these get pressed towards that unpieced block. There. And let's finish this portion. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really pretty quilt. The red is not like a red. It's almost like a salmon red, which I think is going to go really well with the green, because the green isn't like a forest green. It's more of a brighter green. And there's our block. How pretty is that? Nice little bow. If you wanted to be really creative, you could do all different kinds of colors, because we have some fantastic metallic colored fabrics. So you could do all different colored bows in it, and I think that would just be super adorable. So let's grab this. Let's go back to our table. I'm going to quilt it in gold too, so I'm already planning that. So my favorite color is Cleopatra in Glide. So I'm going to switch us over to the other camera. Hang on. Turn that one on. This one. I'm on my way. And since I have my iron hot, let's just go ahead and give it a quick press. I did iron and press all of, starch all of my fabrics before I started cutting. I do recommend you do that because then you don't have to iron your block. So there is the block. So you can see the green is a much brighter green than what you see normally in a lot of Christmas quilts. So I think they're going to go perfect together, but we're going to find out together. So there is that. Oh, Robert just said sorry he couldn't be here. So, don't forget, go get that. I'll post, here, let me paste a link to the pattern again and that tool because it's a good one to have. And I think, I didn't grab the pattern, hang on. Let me hold up the pattern one more time. I think it's a really cute quilt. And it's a free pattern, so this would make a good one if you want to gift for somebody who's quilt worthy in your life. Hi, Sherry Gregory. The bow shows up better. Yeah, I think so too. It does show up a lot better in these colors than in the and I'm not being critical or judgy at all. Sometimes you don't know until you actually piece one, until you make the quilt. So the bow doesn't show up very well. But be creative. If you're going to make it, make different color bows. I'm doing the way the pattern has it. But you could do some purples and some blues and greens. You could do greens too. Put a red bow in the green one and a green one in the red one. So colors of the month. First one is not variegated. It is called Butter. It is color number 2130. And then the second one is 3920. I can't read my own handwriting. Golden Glow, and it is variegated. So, nah. 15% off for the show if you're not in the club, and 20% off if you're in the club. And if you're not in the club, it's $20 to join. You get the box, and then all of your fabric is 20% off. And tonight's giveaway, this is an old one that we got from Brother, and it's thrown in a little ruler too. This is an Olfa ruler, but it's for your tools, so you can, you know, when you're going on, not including the rotary cutter, but see how nicely it just holds stuff. And it's called a Tech Caddy, and you can just fit it in your retreat bag to put all your stuff, your scissors, all kinds of stuff, and it just stays put. And tonight's winner is Cecilia Carter. Cater, not Carter. So, and it has a little zipper pouch too. So Cecilia, if you have not shopped with us before, please go to Facebook and direct message us there with your information so that we can get this in the mail to you, or if you're, let us know if you're local, you can just come pick it up at the store. So, Donna, darn it. Yeah, be sure and get the pattern. I think this is going to make a really cute quilt. And before we go, I have show and tell because I've been busy. So let me just switch over to the smaller camera so that I can pick it up and show you. I have been busy. And there is our pumpkin pattern all quilted. I'm going to get up close so you can kind of see the pumpkins. And come back out so you can see a lot of the quilt. But that's not all. But wait, there's more. We also have this one completely finished and quilted. And I used this really kind of coppery thread on it and a pattern called Espresso. I think it turned out pretty cool. What do you guys think? I hope I did a good job with the camera because I can't see what you're looking at. Well, thank you for all the comments. Yeah, those two quilts turned out pretty cool. And the one of them we're gonna have in the store, so if somebody sees it and they want a kit, we can make a kit for them. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight, and sorry we missed Robert, but he's doing some IT work for somebody, and everybody needs that kind of help too. Thank you for joining us, and as always, check your needle, check your thread path, and oil your hook before you bring your machine in for a spa day. Good night.